This is NBA Showtime.
What is up, everyone?
What's up? What's up?
On the NBA recap with the C Sports Show. How you doing, bro?
Man, I'm ready to go, man. Football's over. We're ready to put our attention to basketball. First basketball we're probably since October after the finals. So let's go to work.
Let's go to work, man. What's up, everyone? How's everyone doing out there?
Everybody doing? Let me turn my chat on.
The chat says, "What's up to you?" See?
Yeah, let me turn it on here on my phone. Here, hold on. Oh, no, that's a different stream. I was about to go. All right, hold on. All right, guys, hold on. Let me get on the chat here. How's everybody doing? Meg, RQ3, Big Wood, Emmanuel. How's everybody doing tonight? We already took some NBA here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing? Old school intro. Yes, old school intro. Great intro. Thank you, RQ3. Yeah, it's a good intro, Meg. The Suns beat the fucking Phillies at the Philadelphia Sixers. What the hell, man? What up, Little H, Emmanuel? Yeah, it's a good intro. Yep. Yeah, man, the Phillies, man, they lost 2 in a row, man, to the Portland, and now tonight to Phoenix Suns. Got to get.
We're gonna get into that game specifically, dude. But yeah, the fucking Suns, they're coming out of nowhere, man. They're playing really good basketball as a team right now. Devin Booker's on the rise. But we'll get into it, though. See, we're going to start off, obviously, in the game that just happened right now. Holy Lord, man. Mercy, right? What are your thoughts on this basketball game?
Yeah, man, it was a fucking shit show. I was disappointed because they lost to the Cavaliers twice and the Pistons. So I thought the Warriors would give them problems. But no, man, I mean, I think it was also that I think Kevin Durant's not playing the games or something. Or was it Kyrie Irving for the Cavaliers games? But now they got all 3 back. It's like fucking, they're unstoppable, man. Even if they suck defensively, they're unstoppable offensively. They like 134 points. I mean, they give up 117, but they just put up too many points, man. It's just like, and it's like not even know I had a crazy night. Like their highest score was what? Kyrie Irving with 23. Durant had 20.
It was a great team win, dude.
19. Nobody even went off. Like nobody had more than 23 points. But it's just that they had 6 guys with at least 15 points, so that's the problem.
I kind of think this was like their first game of the season. I mean, obviously they played the Warriors in that very first game, but I kind of feel like this was their first game of the season. Like this is when they really put it all together as a unit. Because there's a lot of stuff you're mentioning, dude. There was no dude that kind of like blew out the stats on paper.
But when
you watch this team play out there, man, holy shit, they're freaking dangerous, dude.
And James Harden, man, he out there looked like Magic Johnson. He's a much better passer than we thought, man. 16 assists. He's creating out there for everybody. Like it's like they got themselves a really good point guard. Everybody thought that like in Houston it was just like, I don't know. They didn't take it seriously. It's triple doubles. But this guy can pass the ball, man. 16 assists tonight.
Yeah. He's becoming a true leader out there, man. And I think he said in the week that he was kind of like overscoring 40 points every single night for the Rockets. And he's back to playing his type of basketball. Yeah. So like this could have been his type of basketball that for all this time he could be this type of player, a facilitator, really high IQ, a distributor, takes the shot when he needs to. I kind of feel bad for Steph Curry, dude, because this is the kind of team the Warriors had back in the day. Not like exactly the way that the Nets are built right now. But, that Warriors team, man, I was watching a game with my father, and he was like, I can't believe they did Steph Curry like that in terms of the team that they gave him this year.
Yeah, well, I mean, they were supposed to compete, but Klay Thompson, man, blew out his damn Achilles. Otherwise, they probably would have compete. I don't know if they would have competed a championship. I think the leagues would have been better. But, I mean, they would have competed. Andrew Wiggins, I mean, and Kelly Oubre, they're supposed to be they're not really stars, though. They're like good players, but they're no Klay Thompsons. But maybe next year when they get Klay Thompson back, they can compete.
Yeah, Big Wood makes a good point, dude. He says that they played for KD tonight. They wanted to win.
Yeah, I could tell they were motivated tonight for KD. They went off.
So, Iverson, how you doing, bro?
This guy's with 15 points.
Iverson's at the Suns, man. They're streaking this week. They beat Boston, the Bucks, Philly, 5-game win streak. We're going to get to your team, bro, because, they're on fire.
Great basketball.
So most career points per game against the Warriors, man. KD's number 1. He might have taken a little bit of a hit tonight because of the point production, but man, he loves playing against that Warriors ball club.
Yeah, today was his first game in well, it's not even the same thing. It's a different arena, but today was the first game he came back there, And yeah, he definitely wanted to win the game. You could tell he definitely wanted to win that shit.
So you're right, bro. Only 11 points for him. But the passing, right? This team, the passing everywhere around. We talked about James Harden, but KD was making some nice passes out there. And I thought this pass was freaking elite. Split both defenders on that baseline and that easy little bucket layup, man. The Warriors, bro, they were kind of a little bit lazy on defense. I don't think they were expecting the Nets to come out of there and play team ball. I think they kind of expect a lot of ISO. And Steve Nash just got that offense running on point, man.
Yeah, no, you could tell the Warriors were expecting another like a Cavaliers performance, Pistons performance. I think they got caught off guard with they were the way they were playing tonight. So yeah, you're right. But obviously we know why Kevin Durant wanted to. Yeah, that's a halftime score, 66-51. You texted me like I think you wanted to do the show before the game was over. I'm like, no, man, let me wait a little bit, but it was over. I was hoping it wasn't over, but it was over at halftime, 66-51.
Iverson makes a good point, man. That even Bruce Brown, dude, that doesn't even contribute that much, man. Even he balled out today.
Yeah, everybody was balling, man. Everybody was killing it, man. It was a team win. Like I said, at least 6 guys with 15 points.
It's a good point, Big Wood. He says that to remind him when LeBron went back to Cleveland, except the fans and that emotion, right? It was there, man. It was a little bit heavy emotion.
Yeah. Hopefully, next they're not going to go back anymore because this is a final. They only play once a year over there, but maybe next year we'll get the fans back.
Hell yeah, dude! I'm super excited to get the fans back in the arenas, dude. I think New York said around February 23rd. They're gonna start letting 10% back in the arenas. So hopefully it's a good sign, bro.
I think by March they're going to have at least half of the arenas full. They said so. It's good. It's good. We're slowly getting there. Hope maybe like the playoffs, maybe like June, July, maybe we can get maybe at least 50% capacity. I don't know. Yeah. That might be wishful thinking.
Oh yeah. So right there's what we're talking about with Mr. James Harden, bro. 20th career game with 15 points and 15 assists. He's the first Nets player to do that since Deron Williams. So yeah, dude, this team's pretty dangerous going forward, bro.
James Harden.
We're gonna get into start this whole thing off. It's supposed to be done, bro. We're gonna give the first ever Mr. C Sports Show pendejo of the week award. This is a list that you probably don't want to be on, right? But obviously this week there's no voting because I think it was just one player, right? It's a unanimous win, and congratulations to Mr. Draymond Green. It's the first ever pendejo of the week award winner, bro. Holy shit!
Oh man, pendejo of the week, Mr. Draymond Green, for shooting that half-court shot on Monday's loss versus San Antonio with like 7 seconds left.
Bro, not only did he shoot the freaking shot, he was calling for the ball out the inbounds pass. Okay, so he's like, he's calling it out. He's like, Steph Curry's right there, and he's calling for the ball, and the inbounds dude threw him the freaking ball. Like, why would you throw him the ball? Why not give the ball to Steph Curry? It's right there. So I mean, it could be double pendejo of the week.
Exactly.
but okay. So there's 8 seconds left in the game, bro. 8 seconds left, and that's what he does, bro. He shoots that shit from almost half court.
Yeah, that was embarrassing. That was a bad play. Even the commentators were fresh. I don't know if you ever saw the audio. They were pissed off too. The Warriors commentators. It was a terrible play. Terrible. Congratulations, Big Wood.
Yeah, dude. So next week we're gonna have a little vote, but this week, man, it was overwhelming, dude. It wouldn't even make sense for me to put another couple candidates on there. So Draymond and
whether we're on the air Sunday or Saturday, the day before, Friday or Saturday, send me the competitors, I guess, and I can play it on. Have a poll on my YouTube channel, like on the community tab, and then people can vote for it.
Okay. Let's do that, man. Let's do that.
Next time we'll do that, and then the fans.
Oh yeah. So we're getting almost like halfway in the season right now in basketball. I want to say there's like 3 weeks before the rest, and there's a lot of trade rumors going around, bro. A lot of pieces might be moving. Obviously, like the number one dude that everyone wants to see be moved, man, is this dude, Bradley Beal, man.
Yep. I heard Miami. Those are probably the most you hear the most. Denver and Miami. I don't know Miami. Yeah, I think Denver needs some more because I think Jamal Murray. That, like I said, Jamal Murray pre-bubble. This is what Jamal Murray. I think the Jamal Murray of the bubble was a fluke. I think this is really the Jamal Murray, and he's not that good. I think they need him more. I think Miami, they just had a lot of injuries. I think they gotta wait a little. I think Miami. I think Denver could use some more. Let's just say that.
Bro, Denver's a very hot candidate online, dude. A lot of people, a lot of GMs that don't say their names. A lot of media, they want him to go to Denver. That's the spot that everyone wants him to go to.
Yeah.
Just because of Jokic, right? Almost MVP caliber season. But Mr. Feeney 420's in here. Wants to say that the Warriors choked hard. Whew.
Oh yeah, that was a bad performance. Good team win for the Nets. Give them credit. They showed up and they won. Steph Curry had a good game, 27 points. Kelly Oubre and Wiggins, they didn't play that bad, 17 points. It's just that the damn Nets are just better team, obviously.
Yeah, a lot of firepower, dude.
Yeah.
So people are making their trades, bro, and what it would take to get Bradley Beal to the Denver Nuggets. And that's a trade right there, potential trade that they could go down. 3 first-round picks, Michael Porter Jr., Bol, Gary Harris. Man, like this is in terms of cap space, it would work a little bit, but you're depleted if you're the Nuggets, right? I mean, this is not a fair trade.
He's just a size, right? I don't even know about that Bobo guy though.
Mike Malone doesn't play him, bro. Mike Malone's he's a good coach, but this year he's kind of disappointed me with the way he used Michael Porter Jr. I kind of thought he was giving a lot of minutes, a lot of touches, and okay, we talked about LaMelo Ball. He was on the bench. Now he's a starter, bro. Why isn't Michael Porter Jr. starting for your ball club?
Yeah, that's why they traded Jeremy Grant or they let him go away in free agency because they had Michael Porter is the future at that position, and they don't let him go for some reason.
Feeney 420 says that Jamal Murray's in the slump, to be honest, man. I think it's a little bit hurt, bro. Like that separation, that burst that he used to have last year, it's gone. Like he doesn't have it anymore. I mean, we saw all those dudes play a lot of minutes in the playoffs last year. A little bit banged up this year, right? Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, this dude.
They didn't have the time to recover because of only 2 month off season, I think. Was it even 2 months? I don't even think it was like 71 days, I think. Yeah. What up, Kobe? Yeah, we were just looking at that's a rumor going around. You guys were saying Gary Harris, Bol, and Michael Porter and 3 first-round picks to Washington for Bradley Beal.
And Big Wood makes a good point, man, about the big 3. And they're going to leave the Nuggets super depleted, man.
Yeah.
They would get their dude, right? I mean, but you would lose Gary Harris and Michael Porter Jr.
Well, man, you were getting I think he's the number 1 scorer at the moment, right? Bradley Beal. You wouldn't lose as much, though, because you would still have the big man, obviously, Jokic. They wouldn't be as depleted as the Nets, but the biggest loss could be Gary Harris, you're a spot-up 3-point shooter. That could be their biggest loss.
Yeah, because you also have to add in there they lost Jeremy Grant. I mean, they didn't lose him this year, but I mean, compared to last year, so that's Gary Harris, Jeremy Grant.
Anything, yeah.
So moving right along, bro, of course, the Atlanta Hawks, man, they want to get rid of John Collins. He's going to be a free agent after this year. He doesn't want to sign with Atlanta. They offered him a couple of deals already. He said no to them. This is a risky move, in my opinion, bro. If you try to get this guy, if you trade for him, and he doesn't resign for your ball club, you could lose a lot, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised Atlanta's already trying to blow it up because they just put this thing together this year. Well, last year they started with Clint Capella, but they finished it this year with Rondo and Gallinari and all these guys. I forgot who else. Who else went? Oh, Boban went there. Yeah, they put a nice little team together on paper, but it's not working out for some reason. They do have injuries.
You have injuries, bro.
And Hunter's hurt. Who else is hurt? That other kid. There's another one, I forget. But yeah, they have injuries, but still they haven't been.
This could be like the Trae Young effect, bro. I mean, I don't know if they like playing with that guy because he's a kind of a ball hog, takes a lot of shots, a lot of unconventional shots. Like there's shot clock left. They run a couple of plays, maybe a screen, and he gets that freaking ball and he just fucking chucks that shit, bro. So it could be a little frustration in Atlanta going on with Trae Young.
Yeah, he's like a lesser version of Steph Curry, but he doesn't pass like Steph Curry, I guess. I haven't seen him play too much. I did see a game this week, and they were winning the whole game, and they lost versus the Mavericks. So that's kind of a young team's problem, right? Where they're very talented, but they don't know how to win.
Man, I don't know if when you watch other dudes out there, like young guards like a LaMelo Ball, and you know what I mean. Like the whole team is rising, and then you have a Trae Young who's all about Trae Young.
And they always compare with Luka, right? Because they're in the same draft class. And yeah, Luka's a much better passer and everything.
So a lot of people online, man, they want him to go to the Heat. They think you can put a package to get him out of Atlanta. This could be a cheaper player to get out because of that contract we're talking about. But again, bro, it's a risky move because if he doesn't resign with your ball club, it could set you back.
Who would the Heat give up for Atlanta?
Man, probably Tyler Hero, dude.
Oh no. I don't think so, man. Tyler Hero's. I wouldn't. He's like one of the best 3-point shooters in the league, man. I don't think I would do it.
I mean, you're gonna want to keep Jimmy. You're gonna want to keep them. So the next dude they're probably gonna want is Mr. Tyler Hero. It's a risky move, man. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't know, man. And then you better fucking give him the contract right away to sign it the moment he arrives to Miami. If you do trade Tyler Tyler Hero.
Yeah, correct. That's a risky move, man. Definitely. Another veteran dude that you could get right now pretty. Yeah, sorry. Go for it, bro. My bad.
The Celtics could be a team because I watch the Celtics a lot of times, and outside of fucking Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, they don't really have much. So maybe the Celtics.
Okay.
But I don't know who the hell they would give up.
Yeah, so we're gonna watch Danny Ainge, man. Tyler Hero is cringe to watch, says Mr. Feeney 420. Bro, he tries. He has a lot of energy. He's got a lot of emotion. But yeah, there's some people are fans of him. Some people are not fans of him. So a veteran guard that you can get probably on the cheap right now is going to be Kyle Lowry. What do you think about destinations for this guy, bro?
Yeah, so I don't know who needs a. There was one. I don't know. It's not going to happen. About Brooklyn for Kyrie Irving. That's not going to happen.
Sixers, bro.
Philly for Ben Simmons. If they just get tired of Ben Simmons,
I don't know. I don't think you would give. You would try to get this kind of cheap. You would try to get this kind of cheap, man. Work out some bench players, maybe like a second-round pick. I don't think it's going to cost a lot to get him out of Toronto. This could be a move where like Toronto kind of rewards Kyle Lowry to a winner because of all he did for that franchise.
You know where? Clippers. They could use a point guard.
There you go.
Kyrie Irving. I mean, with Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, Clippers sounds a lot more realistic because it's going to the West, right? You would stay on the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
So that's a dude that's definitely going to be switching teams. I'm going to keep an eye out for him. And also JaVale McGee, dude. He's going to be probably moving teams right now. The dude's won 3 rings in the last 4 years. Nets, there are a lot of rumors about the Nets getting him.
Yeah, the Nets could use a big man. Yeah, I can see him going to the Nets. He was already with Kevin Durant and the Warriors a few years ago.
So a lot of people right now, I think there's going to be a lot of movement because of this dude, because of Derrick Rose. He's had a lot of success going to New York. Like his will to win just went through the roof, and the whole team kind of like it's kind of like when Gronk scored that touchdown in the Super Bowl. The whole team kind of like grew a little bit, man. They won again today. The Knicks, they could be a playoff team, bro, this year. Could be
they are. They're winning. Tom Thibodeau's got that team playing good, and yeah, they got RJ Barrett, and they got a nice team.
Yeah, that'd be a good pick too.
I had a few nights ago versus was it with Utah or somebody, and they played really good in the first half, and then they lost. That's the game that Austin Rivers went off for 25 points in the first half. But yeah, they got a nice little team. And I think he ended up getting released. I think to match up the Derrick Rose contract. But
Kyle Lowry could have this kind of an impact on a ball club that's kind of like struggling a little bit because of his veteran leadership, and he's a champion, bro. He knows what it takes to win in those playoff games, man.
Did he ever win a championship? I don't think he did.
No, Kyle Lowry. He could have this kind of an impact if he goes to a team like that.
Yeah, Kyle Lowry and the Clippers would be nice because they already got the chemistry done with Kawhi. So, and I heard that vocally, when they were in 2019 in Toronto, he was like the vocal leader because Kawhi doesn't like to talk. So he can do the same role with the Clippers now. So yeah, that could.
So yeah, if anyone wants to mention any other trade rumors that we didn't talk about, man, go ahead and let us know about any potential trades that you guys are looking out for and everything.
McGee to the Suns for a second-round pick for a backup center. Alverson says that. We'll see.
Moving right along, bro. We're going to cover the little NBA this week, man. What happened in the NBA? Probably the best surprise team so far in the whole season, not just this week, is this Utah Jazz, bro. They won today. They just won right now, 22-5. Bro, what are your thoughts on this ball club?
Dude, they got, man, everywhere you look at, they got fucking weapons, man. You got freaking Donovan Mitchell, Mike Conley, And then you got Bogdanovic at the 3, and now you got Joe Ingles, who was supposed to be the weakling. He's now starting to shoot good. Yeah, then we got Rudy Gobert, who's one of the best defensive one of the best defensive big men. Yeah, they got talent over the damn place. Then you got Jordan Clarkson also coming out of the bench. Yeah, that's a good team.
They got so much depth, man. It's insane what this ball club is.
Yeah.
They amassed all this talent, and they've been able to hold them together for a couple of seasons now. And I think this year it's finally paying dividends for them. Bro, they're 18-1 in their last freaking 19 games so far. They're on the rise. There's probably only maybe like 1 or 2 teams that can slow them down, and it's gonna take a lot to slow this team down because of all the depth they have. If one dude's kind of having an off night, bro.
The Clippers or the Jazz?
Huh?
The Clippers or the Jazz? Who do you think's a better team?
Bro, right now the Jazz. Yeah. Right now, Utah.
Yeah. Okay.
Serge Ibaka versus Rudy Gobert. Obviously, I'm going to go all day long with the Rudy Gobert. They have Kawhi, they have PG, but this team right now is they found the rhythm on that team. They're playing team basketball, and that's dangerous. Okay, that's super dangerous in the NBA. If one of these dudes has an off night, if Conley has an off night, Clarkson can pick them up. Mitchell can pick them up.
They have so much. They have like at least 6 guys that can outscore 25 points, maybe. Rudy Gobert, I don't know, but the other 5, yeah, including Jordan Clarkson off the bench. So yeah, they got a lot of firepower, man. It's unbelievable. And now Joe Ingles, who was struggling, now he's playing good. So yeah, man, it's crazy.
Yeah, we're talking about that one, bro. And I think a big move by Quinn Snyder this year was using Royce O'Neal instead of Derek Favors. He's using Royce O'Neal a lot more this year.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like saving Favors to come in there and give him that little burst of energy off the bench. I thought that was a super smart move by that coach this year.
Yeah, that is. He looks more energized off the bench. Favors.
Big Wood's got a comment for you, bro. He says no more Utah streams because they blow everyone out.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a good game in Milwaukee. Man, Milwaukee shit the bed. Giannis only 3 points in the first half. That was terrible. That game was over by the fucking second quarter.
Bro, what do you do right now if you're the Bucks, man? Like, what does the future hold for that ball club? If you're the GM, if you're the front office, what do you do with that team?
Yeah, it's interesting because they just committed. Giannis just committed for like the next 5 years, but I think what messed them up was the damn team up in Brooklyn. They didn't see that coming, and now it's like they're not good enough, man. I'm sorry. And now Philadelphia, we thought Joel Embiid, if he plays like this, I think he's better than Giannis. He's a better shooter, man. I'm sorry. The problem is he can't stay healthy, but I'm looking at both Philadelphia and Brooklyn as better than the Bucks. I'm sorry, boy. It's just what it is.
Bro, so after that game they played with Utah, Giannis gave an interview, and they asked him about the team. What does he think about Utah? And he gave a lot of praise. He said basically, like, when you watch this team plays, with Quinn Snyder being the coach, they're out there having fun. They're playing like a unit. And that was like shots. You know, he's throwing shots because I think that's kind of the Bucks played a couple of years ago.
Yeah, last year.
When they win 60 games, when they're winning all these regular season games, they're playing like a freaking unit. And somehow it's gone. Like, what happened, bro?
I think mentally they're just like tired, frustrated from getting eliminated in the
playoffs, right?
Yeah, last year
that changed the whole thing. Changed for them.
They might have to fire. They might have to do what the Clippers did and get rid of Doc Rivers. They might have to do the same thing and get rid of Mike Budenholzer. Just put in a new voice in there, a fresh new voice. What up, Blaze McCoy? How you doing, sir?
Yeah, what's up, Blaze? I sent you a text, bro. If you want to come on here, I'm gonna send you the link right now, bro.
Giannis will have that. Yeah, we talked about that in the past, Big Wood, how he made a mistake by staying with Milwaukee. He should have gone. I don't know where the hell he should have gone, but everybody said he's like a Pippen. He's not a Jordan. He's got to go somewhere else where he can get the Batman. Because he's like a better version of Ben Simmons. Like, he's Ben Simmons with an average shot. That's about it. Bucks need to fire. Yeah, exactly. RQ3. I think they needed to do what the Clippers did and get a new, fresh voice in there. And then also something that I was looking at for the Bucks is that last year they didn't play their players that much. they were only averaging like 33, 35 minutes a game. And then the playoffs, when they had to play, more because they were losing or they were in close games, they were not in condition.
Welcome to join you.
They were not in condition to play. So that's on Mike Budenholzer. He's got to get those players in better shape for the playoffs so they don't get tired. So, yeah, he might be out the door. I just got
That's a good call.
5 hours?
Oh, man.
Yeah, he's tired, man. He's not. He's fatigued right now. He's gonna go get some food. Yeah, Blaze is okay, man. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Every week, bro, we're gonna be doing this, and you're more than welcome to hop on anytime you want, bro.
On Sunday, so we can get the whole week out of the way. But I think tomorrow
the Laker game was tomorrow.
Lakers play late at night, so obviously we're gonna watch that.
Yeah. We did a little audible because of like CD's mentioning, bro. The Lakers play tomorrow against Denver. It's gonna be a must-watch basketball game.
Are you sure it's until like 10 o'clock Eastern?
I think it's at 7 o'clock Pacific time.
All right. Well, I mean, we're doing it already, so who cares? But I was surprised that on Sunday they were playing that late. Usually on Sundays everybody plays early.
Yeah, I was surprised too. Cody Johnson, what's up, bro? How you doing?
Oh,
he got a new phone, man.
Congratulations.
He got the iPhone 12. Looks like this.
There's not a lot of Jordans out there. Yeah. Well, but I'm talking about like a LeBron or a Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard. That's what I'm talking about.
Yep. Yeah. So speaking of sort of like a Pippen player, maybe Anthony Davis could be considered like a Pippen kind of a role player.
Yeah.
To LeBron, right? And I think AD, he's like the perfect fit for that team because he's not an alpha. He's kind of more a reserved dude, right? He doesn't like the spotlight that much. So I think it was like the perfect fit for that LeBron James kind of offense that he likes to run, where he's a star, he's the alpha. You know what I mean? It worked out very well for the Lakers, bro.
Wade and Kyrie Irving wanted to be like stars like him, where Anthony's like, I don't give a shit. You can be the star. I'll just be the Robin. It works well for them. Imagine if they would have had this, like from the beginning, like instead of having, they would have probably stuck together the whole day. Now, obviously, he's like much younger. That's why. But if they would have been the same age and they would have played together, they could have gone on a nice Michael Jordan Pippen or Kobe Shaq run. They might still go. I mean, they might get 2 in a row this year.
You're right, bro. Like because AD was a rookie in 2012. That's when LeBron was in Miami, bro. If LeBron would have tried to get him in Cleveland, I mean, they could have been winning a couple years back, right? Yeah.
If they would have been the same age, they would have done some damage, like for a long time. The NBA's lucky that I think AD's like 9. He's only, like 5-7 years younger. But if they would have been the same age, they would have killed it for a long time together, like Kobe and Shaq or Jordan and Pippen.
I think AD is probably like 10 years, something like that, though. Something crazy like that.
AD is probably like 27, maybe 26, 5.
And the Lakers list this week, bro, they've been freaking coming back from all these basketball games. Shout out to the Thunder. They had 2 really good games against the Lakers, bro. I think that team's on the rise. Very, very well coached basketball team. The front office is making really good at draft picks. And Memphis got off to that 20-2 run yesterday, and they came all the way back to win this freaking ball game, bro. At one point, it was 33-51.
I couldn't believe it either, man. I watched the end of it when I got done streaming the game, the Utah game. But it was like, and then you got LeBron dunking out there at the end. It was crazy, man. They literally do whatever the hell they want. But like LeBron said after the game, he's like, we can't get in this bad habit because we got to play the good teams. We can't do this. We're going to lose. So, the last 4 games, the 2 versus Oklahoma, the one last night versus Memphis, and then the 1 versus Detroit last week, they gotta turn it up. Otherwise, we're going to lose when we got to play the good teams. So,
I mean, you make very good points. But I think the fact that they came back and they didn't just give up, I think it speaks volumes to that type of ball club they have. Because it's LeBron James, but there's a lot of role players in that team that have to do their parts for them to win these basketball games, dude. So, I mean, if you're a fan of – there's a lot of people that hate LeBron and stuff, which I understand, but you gotta give the team praise, not just LeBron, but the basketball team.
Yeah, they can throw in the white towel and say what the hell, but they're coming back and they're winning the games at least after this whole starts.
All right, everyone, all the way from Pennsylvania, the one and only Blaze Radio. Welcome in, buddy.
For whatever voice I have left, You guys are my sports news tonight. I've been streaming for 5.5. I did a little StreamYard stuff and my show, and now all I know that happened today in sports. I'm gonna talk about two things real quick, and then I'll listen to you update. Number one, my dad called me earlier to tell me Kentucky finally fucking won a game, so I know that. And shit, I forgot what the other one. I want JJ Watt. I know it's NFL, but I want JJ fucking Watt. I know it ain't gonna happen, but I want him. I want him.
Really appreciate that. Dude.
Oh yeah, JJ Watt.
I think talk about it, and the first name is the Steelers. They're saying to possibly bring the brothers together. It probably won't happen, and I thought about it. I'm like, please let it happen. They could cut some of these son bitches with all their money and let go some of the free agents. I think it make it happen, but I doubt it'll happen. But I gotta say it. I'm a Steeler fan. I want JJ Watt.
Yeah, dude, it could happen, dude. They're front runners, and I don't know if you saw Blaze Radio going really quickly about the NFL. That they were at the pro day for Trevor Lawrence, Pittsburgh. Did you see that?
Oh, really? Yeah. I wouldn't make much of it. I mean, here's another thing. I mean, I know when they say stuff like that, you also got to keep in consideration sometimes that a lot of the coaches will go to watch because that's going to be someone they're going to be playing a lot. And they want to get the first look at him too.
Yeah, exactly. It's more of a study.
AFC. If I'm in the AFC, I'm there. I'm sending a scout there if I'm in the AFC. But I think this is going to be a wild draft. I think there's going to be some weird shit happening that we're not expecting, I hope, because, like 4 or 5 quarterbacks, there's about 6 good linemen, like Pro Bowl linemen in the first round. It should be very interesting. 4 or 5 really possibly great wide receivers. It's going to be a weird, wild first round.
Yeah, it is, man. It is. And now there's another offensive lineman, I guess, is coming up, Northwestern or something. And now they're saying that he might be better from the kid from Oregon. Wow. I don't know.
I also want Najee Harris. I see a lot of people picking for the Steelers late in the first round and jumping at a running back. If they're going to, I'll take Najee Harris every fucking time. But I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, you guys are running back big time.
Yeah. I don't know if I've heard him and I've heard Travis Etienne. I'd take either one. I don't know if they're going to be golden, but with the Steelers, the way they've been running, no matter who comes in, they're not going to be a bell cow. They're going to be part of a system.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But that Harris guy of Alabama would be fantastic for you guys.
It's pretty useless to even talk about the Steelers until Ben makes a solid decision, but I want JJ fucking Watt. That's a big domino to fall along with Deshaun Watson wherever he goes, which is the #1 news everywhere, obviously. So what happened in the NBA, man? I mean, interrupt you guys. Go back to
it was kind of a blowout, disappointing games. So they were like
LeBron had a big flop tonight. I heard about LeBron's flop. That's all I heard.
Yeah, that was last night. He flopped on Memphis, and they're gonna find him money for acting up. That was a flop.
That was a bad one. That was
bad. They probably touch him.
I don't like any flopping, but some of them is so ridiculous. And to respect LeBron as one of the best ever, stop doing that. He don't got to do that shit. He just knows he'll get the call. I get it, but it looks bad. That was
really bad. Replaying. Memphis commentators were so fucking pissed off at the referees for calling it.
Yeah, dude, I'll be pissed off too, man. If I was a Memphis fan and I watched the dude that they call the GOAT do that kind of crap, because you compare these dudes to other previous eras, right? Like a Jordan, like a Kobe. I mean, they wouldn't. I mean, remember that play with Matt Barnes with the basketball on Kobe?
Oh yeah, he kept.
Okay, that's a whole.
Did you ever see the opposite angle of that? Have you seen the mystery?
I mean, LeBron's flopping out here, and then Kobe's taking into their faces.
Where Kobe didn't have to flinch because if you saw the other angle, he didn't throw it anywhere near his fucking face. It just looked like it was.
Yeah, they showed
years later.
They showed he wasn't even in front of him. That's why he didn't flinch.
Yeah, the ball was like way to the side of Kobe, but from the angle, it looked like it was right on his face. So that's why he didn't flinch. So that's kind of a little dispelling his myth. He's still one of the greats, but I thought that was funny. I just thought that was funny when they showed it.
Mr. Feeney 420 says that he's following in Jimmy Butler's footsteps when it comes to flopping.
Oh yeah, that's the thing I was going to say. Once you got a bad flop like LeBron's last night, then you get like the history of bad flops they're seeing. So today I saw like 4 or 5 and they did show Jimmy Butler. And that's probably, as much as I love Jimmy Butler in his ball game, terrible flop. Oh, man.
The two biggest I've seen was Manu Ginobili and James Harden.
Yeah, yes. Well, they do it all the time.
Bro, I hope I think the NBA is really smart in getting that stuff and putting it into it. Because last we want to see basketball kind of like soccer. Okay, soccer's a shit show. Because the flopping is all over the place, bro. It's almost unwatchable.
I'm glad you're saying that. I'm glad you're saying that.
Need to stop that flopping shit.
It hurts. I mean, they have replay for other stuff. Why not replay and embarrass the fuckers that flop? You know, I mean, the other team should get 2 shots in the ball if they're caught with a flop that bad. Like, give the refs that power. Fuck it. It's terrible.
That's
a little
it is.
exaggerated.
It's a bad look.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's a bad look though, because if you have people that don't watch basketball and you're like, hey, let's watch a basketball game, and then they see that shit, you're like, bro, this is what you watch.
Well, you think it's bad on, I thought it was bad on the
15 years.
You think it's bad on the player. That's my first instinct, but that's a hell of a spin, Larry. It's bad on the whole game, the whole league. Because other people see it, and what are you going to do? You're going to do it too if you can.
So, yeah, but you don't want to have that kind of a league that's because it gets out of control, dude. Like NBA's smart. NBA's really smart, and congrats to them, bro. The game real quickly back right here to this Lakers game. Okay, it's Kuzma, Mr. Blaze Radio. He's stepping up, man. He's grabbed 10 boards, and I think 5 of them were offensive rebounds. He's leading the league right now in offensive rebounding, Kuzma, in terms of minutes per game.
Hell yeah. Well, you got AD and LeBron. They can carry it a lot. And seeing the points that they put up tonight and almost a triple-double for James, too. They need that third person to step up. It doesn't matter who it is, though. They just need someone to step up each night, and they could be almost unbeatable. That's amazing right there. 8 for 14. Yeah. A double-double.
And off the bench, dude, not even starting right now.
A third wheel as a double-double, that's gold. You should win every game if you got a third star getting a double-double. What do you think, CE? About
no, yeah, that's good for him because they paid him like $40 million for 3 years, so he better start committing. He better start playing good. Otherwise, man, I was mad when they signed him, but maybe this is why. Maybe they finally saw something last year late in the season.
Right, bro. It's because I think we talked about it. He's all his career he's played like a shooting guard, and he's never really developed that small forward, power forward mentality. And whether it was LeBron, whether it was AD, whether it was Frank Vogel, someone talked some sense into him this offseason because he's getting those dirty ass plays, down in the bucket, boxing out, getting the boards because the dude's 6'9". He's not 6'4", he's not 6'5", he's 6'9", that guy. So
6'3" sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you were so down on him, and a lot of people were down on him for the same reason because, bro, you have this athletic gift, this NBA frame, and you just don't use it. It's like super frustrating to watch that shit. But I'm glad he's finally, putting the shit together. And there's even a movement in LA to get this guy an All-Star bid.
Maybe we'll see.
And talking about the Memorabilia and the Lakers, bro, that could be making an All-Star team. Because the Lakers fans, bro, they got a lot of power. They're voting for Caruso like a mother.
Dude, I saw that. People are pissed.
Yes. I'll vote for him right now. I will, just because I heard that.
Yeah, they're saying that he's like in second or third in guard.
You got to admire any player that shows that much like energy and shit and can play. I mean, he's not an all-star, superstar, greatest of anything, but those little fireball type players are big for ball teams like that, man. I dig him. He's awesome. And when he gets those big dunks, you're like, how the hell that white dude get up there and dunk that shit?
Right.
You got to be real.
This is your Rex Chapman, Mr. Blaze Radio.
Modern day Rex, indeed.
Right. Because of this, one thing about Caruso that I really enjoy watching him play is his defense. He's really smart to position himself and not get beat because these other guards are much faster than him off of the dribble. But the dude's really smart in terms of like basketball IQ, positioning his body, moving his legs, his hips. His defense, man, has been on point this year.
That's a difference between him being like a little spectacle every once in a while and a decent ball player that could stick around for years and do very well and contribute to a championship team, obviously.
Definitely, bro. So we right along, bro. Another team that's doing awesome right now in basketball is the Phoenix Suns. Whew, man, what are you guys' thoughts on the Phoenix Suns ball club?
Yeah, man, wins over what? Milwaukee, who else? Milwaukee, Philadelphia. They beat somebody else. I forgot, boy. That's the Chris Paul effect. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's such a leader. I mean, Devin Booker's such a stud. If they get the big guys going too, and they got a solid. I don't know how deep they are. I don't know much about their bench or anything, but I know they got the star power and now more leadership with a guy like Chris Paul.
Yeah, that DeAndre Ayton guy, he's also pretty good. So they low-key have a big three right there with those three. Booker.
Was Ayton number 1 overall or number 2? What was Ayton? Was he was one of the top, number 1 overall, right? So with those guys like that, they come on for a couple years. It's time for you to show up right now, and if he is, that's good for him because there was a lot he was held up to when he was drafted.
Yeah, and I believe also Luka and Trae Young were in that draft, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's the same.
Yeah,
draft.
so they're making him look bad. So thank God he finally getting head of his ass.
Sometimes it takes a little longer for some of these players. I mean, a lot of people, including me, I'm guilty too, they expect when these rookies come in that they're going to blow up right away. And sometimes they're still kids, a lot of them. I mean, like literally. So they're
especially now that they're coming out like at 18, 19, they still got the kids frame and they don't have that man frame yet.
That's why a lot of these Europeans and the foreign people who have been playing professionally coming over, they can slide right in. Like Luka, he pretty much blew up right away. He didn't need a lot of maturity, but a lot of these kids do. And I mean, I think more people, and me included, should give them, I don't know what, like a 3-year, 4-year window to some of them if they've only played 1 or 2 years in college.
Yeah, definitely. We just talked about Kuzma finally figuring it out, right?
Same thing with Kuzma.
CP3 on that team, man, he's making a huge difference also. Yeah, I mean, you talked about it, Blaze. Got to give a lot of credit to Mr. CP3. They beat Milwaukee, like C said. They beat Philly. And in that Milwaukee game, bro, I mean, Giannis went for 47, but these dudes played team ball, and they ended up with the win.
I got to say, the Devin Booker looks a little bit like Jake from State Farm because Chris Paul, it looked like a commercial there for a second.
Iverson makes a good point about the centers taking longer to develop in the NBA.
And that's true because also you think about what the center position is now, and you got those 7-footers that can also step back in 3. Like I think I talked about this with CE before, something that, like the center position, it's almost like it's close to being just guards and forwards now. There's not really a true center like there used to be. And those centers can shoot threes and they can handle the ball. And there's so many of them now. Back in the day, there might've been 1 or 2 like that. Now there's so many, it's almost a standard. But I don't think the true big man that can block shots and defend the rim is dead, but it's a lot less.
No, the guy Rudy Gobert, he's kind of like that.
Yeah, there's still a handful of them, but there's more of the ones that can handle the ball and do everything type of centers. But yeah, centers, I do agree. You got to develop them a little big. They're banging around with some big boys in there, and that's what a lot of people take for granted. Keep in mind, these dudes aren't wearing any pads. No helmets, no nothing, and it's still very physical in the paint.
The guy, the Dwight Howard, like I thought he never reached his full potential, and then he ended up getting hurt his back, and then he just never was the same again. But I thought he never reached his full potential as center. I thought he could have been a lot better, and he just couldn't. I don't know. I don't think he was quite ever what he was supposed to be.
He had the frame.
I don't think his offensive game was ever that good. See, but his defensive game was really good.
Yeah, he
was not like a dude that dominated on offense. He was way more known for his defense.
Yeah.
But when it came down to defense, bro, Dwight Howard was the man.
Yeah, if he had a 3 and then ball handling, then he's like one of the newer guys that are 7 foot.
Yeah. He was like the last true center, post-up center. But yeah, he wasn't like no Shaq or shit like that.
And then they all said he was soft earlier in his career. Yeah. He could dunk the ball and he could defend the hole, and that's important. When you got these flying fuckers flying at the rim from out.
It's interesting how in basketball though, like the center, I mean, it's a very important position, right? But if you look back in the couple of years in the NBA Finals, it's usually just been dominated by quick little guards, right? Maybe LeBron James is the exception to that rule, but quick little guards have dominated. But they need that center to win, right? Last year we saw Lakers use Howard and JaVale McGee dominate the freaking Heat, right? And then Andrew Bogut kind of played a role in that Warriors rim protector kind of thing.
With the Warriors,
right? But it's usually like quick little guards in the NBA. Like that's a lot of value right now in basketball.
If you look, it started a long time ago because there was, Ewing, Robinson, and Hakeem and stuff, and Shaq and all those big guys. Jordan and his team kind of laid the groundwork. They had Luke Longley or whoever at center, but they had, like you said, shooters and guards running around. So they were way ahead of their time back then with that type of team. But you're right. Look at the Hakeems and the Ewings and the Robinsons that went after him. That era wasn't over. Those big dudes still ruled. You got Shaq leading for, Rockets got one, Spurs got one, Magic got one because they had that big dude. And you're right. It's changed a lot, but the big dude's still important. Big time.
Yeah, it's definitely important. Emmanuel's in here. What's up, bro?
Joel Embiid and Jokic being the 2 favorites for MVP.
Pendejo face.
Yeah.
I always get the guy from Portland and Denver mixed up.
You're right. You're dead on, man. You're dead on that those two are still in that big man mold that can do it. But I'm impressed when those guys can step out and shoot threes too. I mean,
Joel can handle it. Like he got handles almost like a point guard. And same thing with Anthony Davis and Karl Anthony Towns. All 3 of those guys, that's like the new version of the center where they can handle the ball and take the 3.
Some of their threes don't look that pretty, but like Joe Embiid's threes look pretty crazy, but it goes in, man. He knows how to shoot the three sometimes.
But also, I think that was a good switch because Brett Brown was having him take too many threes, where now Doc Rivers is posting him up a lot more, which makes perfect sense.
I love that about the game, though, because back in the day, you had people that camped under the ring or the rim, and defenses that could camp under the rim too, because they knew one or two people on that team ain't going nowhere near a 3-point line.
Exactly. Now it makes it harder.
Yep. That's huge in the game. I love it though, because it does make it more exciting because there's big guys popping in and out, spreading the floor.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, the centers are dominating right now, especially with Mr. John Drayton, bro. 12 games in a row. He's got 11 boards or more for this guy.
Wow.
Stepping up. So yeah, going back to the Suns, bro. I mean, this is a team that's on the rise right now. They have all these parts clicking for them.
Are those
in
all
the playoffs, see if you were to pick a team right now, Clippers or Suns in the playoffs, I mean, who would you go with, bro?
Wow.
I would take Phoenix right now. I would take Phoenix over the Clippers based on the way they've been playing basketball, because of CP3. I think if CP3 faces the Clippers in the NBA playoffs, man, watch out, dude.
Yeah. The Clippers, I think they gotta get Kyle Lowry, or they gotta get a point guard, man. They need a quarterback for that damn offense, man. Like we were talking about earlier, they gotta get Kyle Lowry or somebody. So otherwise, Chris Paul can just shred them with And remember, Devin Booker and Paul George don't like each other, so Devin Booker's gonna want to kick his ass. So, and we know how Paul George can be soft. So, yeah.
I could see that in the playoffs. I could see that matchup happening. Like, I would really want to watch in the playoffs, Clippers and Suns, because I think Phoenix can knock them out, man.
Larry,
Iverson says that Booker and Paul are clutch. That's a big thing come playoff time.
Yep.
No, I don't know if the only thing I could think that might make a difference, if it is Suns and Clippers, I think it would matter where in the playoffs, and it'll depend on where they end, because the Clippers do, even though they fell apart in the playoffs last year, they got a little more experience with playoffs than the Suns would as a team. So if you're going to make any argument for the Clippers to take out the Suns, if they meet in the first round, I would think that the Clippers could probably beat them. I'm with you with the Suns, the way they're playing.
Yeah, that's the problem, that Booker and Ayton don't have the playoff experience.
Mm-hmm. That's the only thing I could think of that might hurt them. Now, look what happened in the bubble last year with not too many games. Who knows? They might, teams like that can blow up. And a lot of teams nowadays, you'll see it towards the end of the second half. They'll save up for the playoffs. So you never know what people do in the playoffs. I think as much as there's those elite teams up top, I'm personally, I ain't putting the Nets in there, even though people think they are because of who they got. I don't think they're going to make it to the finals. If they do and prove me wrong, then they came together at the end of the year. But you don't got defense, you're going to fall into someone.
Yeah, they're probably going to do something in that deadline. Maybe like a guy like Andre Dorman or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, dude. So talking about the East, man. Talking about the Nets. Talking about the Eastern Conference Finals, the NBA Finals. Philly right now is a team that was dominating for many weeks in basketball. They've taken a couple steps back this week. I think they're 6-4 in the last 10 games. What do you guys' thoughts on the Philly Sixers?
Yeah, I don't know if it's a West Coast thing. They're tired because they lost to Portland on was it Thursday, and then they lost today to the Suns. And now the Suns give them credit because they did beat, like I said, Milwaukee. But yeah, I don't know. I think Joel Embiid still had 35 points tonight. But yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if they're kind of tired of being out in the West Coast. We got to get back to Philly. Yeah, the last two games have been kind of weird for them. I don't know what's going on. I wouldn't panic too much though.
Yeah, I wouldn't panic too much either, man. Some of these regular season games kind of got like a little preseason feel to them. I mean, they lost a couple of games, Philly, but man, it's tough to kind of get down on them because of what they've done all season. Especially with Joel Embiid, right? We're talking about this guy's MVP potential this year, and definitely on board with this guy for MVP. Just because he's super consistent, he's been playing every single basketball game.
Let's hope he can stay healthy.
Yeah, let's hope he can stay healthy.
That's the one thing that worries about him. If he can stay playing the way he is with the minutes he's playing, hopefully staying healthy could be key. I just worry about his injury.
Yeah, he's always going on the floor, grabbing his back and shit.
Hey, maybe it's the year he makes it through without a major injury. Who knows?
Man, he leads the NBA, bro, in the most 40-point, 10-board games this year. Obviously, there's not a lot of candidates, right? But he's number one. posting those numbers. In terms of like the efficiency on this guy, it's through the roof, man. He's number one in efficiency over Jokic, over LeBron, over Curry. This dude should be winning your MVP this year if he continues on this pace. Obviously, the NBA is super political. We might see LeBron get that award this year. I hate to say it because people are gonna get mad, but this dude
who could take it this year,
right?
Yeah, I mean, it should really be Joel Embiid or Jokic, but I might give it to LeBron. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, look tonight. I mean, looking at the box score, Harris had 18, Green had 10, Embiid 35.
Yeah,
they all scored double digits, 18 for Simmons and 10 for Curry. I mean, it looks like I didn't see the game, but it looks like Phoenix just played better.
Well, the kid went
playing really good team ball right now,
and then started off the bench at like 15.
Yeah, that's good balance within your starting lineup too.
I mean, it's not like they shit the bed. I think
they close at the end or anything.
Tired of being out on the West Coast.
It was a 9-point game. Was it close at the end or anything, or did did they lead?
I didn't watch it either. I thought it was a night game. It was a fucking 2 or 3
noon o'clock my time.
Yeah, it was like a morning game, so I didn't even watch it.
I think
Philly started off pretty solid in the game, Blaze. But as like the second quarter, third quarter kind of went on, that Phoenix kind of rose, man. They just a lot of energy on that Phoenix ball club, dude. I mean, they just got a lot of. It could be because Portland had that back-to-back, I think, with Blazers. Maybe like it was the energy kind of like fell a little bit for them a little bit. But that's when Phoenix won the game, was in that second and third. And in the fourth, Philly tried to make the comeback, but it was a little bit too late for them.
Yeah, and that could also be a problem too. Being on the West Coast, playing at fucking early, that could also catch them off guard, especially with a young team.
Yeah, exactly. Good
Albertson says if they don't do anything this year, they might have to split Ben Simmons and Joel. Yeah, that's always been talked about that.
Yeah, they teased it for the last 2 years, and I agree with Iverson on that one. I mean, you got to be, if they can't do it this year, you got to really strongly consider doing something with them if you can before it's too late.
Yeah, because there were talks about when Harden went out of Houston, how about Harden and Simmons, and obviously that didn't happen. But yeah, that's always going to be talked about if they fail in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Karam, what's up, bro? How you doing, man? The center team looking pretty good, bro. He says that Luka's coming back, and don't count him out. Just saying.
I think he had 42.
He's been playing really good.
Yeah, his problem was that he was vacationing in Europe, and I think he got kind of caught off guard by the start of the season being December, and so he wasn't in shape. And now he's starting to get back as he plays, starting to get back in shape.
I think the Unicorns finally doing some wild shit again. So he's a fucking logo 3. Was that last night? Logo 3 and just pulling up for everywhere, taking to the bucket. That's old Porzingis.
Yeah, it was like 40-something last night too.
Yeah, if he can play, if they both click at the same time, that's dangerous. Like I don't know the rest of the roster to fall through or their bench, but those two together. I mean, I'm not talking LeBron and AD, but those two are superstars together if they both click. That was unreal to watch them shoot.
They were not in shape. Luka, I don't know. He just thought that they were not going to play until like January, February, and he just didn't prepare to start the season. And then the other guy obviously came off leg surgery. So, maybe not the in the NBA. And this is a real version of what we saw last night.
Philly got Seth Curry out of Dallas, though, man. So that was a huge one for Philly. Kind of weakened that Dallas B team, that bench a little bit, right? Man, Steph. We talked about Steph Curry, but he had some pretty good numbers for Philly this year, man. He's been playing very well for them. He hit that 3-pointer to tie the game, bro, in that Portland game, right?
Since Butler left, they had that void of the lights out shooter, and Harris is a good shooter, but he's not that lights out. Bringing Seth in too, but 1-2 punch of those two, that's good shooting, and then the rest of the team kind of falls through. I think that helped a lot because I hated to lose Jimmy Butler from the Sixers, but going to the Heat, he did very well, of course.
Yeah, and then also Danny Green and Korkmaz are also pretty good shooters.
Green too, yes. I forgot about Danny Green, definitely. I mean,
bro, like talking about shooting on Philly,
you get a couple of them.
I think this dude on the screen right here,
3-point shooter. He loves 3-point shooters, so now he's with you guys. So he was obviously going to fix that part of your game.
Very true.
Bro, if Ben Simmons was a shooter, that Philly ball club would be unbeatable, man. But this guy just never been able to get that shot going, man. You wouldn't need Tobias Harris because I think Tobias Harris, Blaze, I think he kind of limits the team a little bit. I think he's very inconsistent, and when he's inconsistent, bro, man, like the plus minus.
That's why they need 3 shooters instead of 2 or 4 shooters. And I don't know.
Exactly.
I've been fighting this thing about Ben Simmons for so long. I mean, does he have to be a great shooter? I don't think so. I mean, you see the comparisons to the Big O and Magic.
Man, I think if he was a great shooter, your team would be like an NBA Finals, dude.
It would definitely help, but I mean, you can't make the dude do what he can't do. If he's a creator, he's one of the best creators. He's being compared to the Big O and Magic. You know, if he can create and lead that team a little more, like we're talking about Chris Paul. I mean, Ben Simmons doesn't have the leadership quality. He haven't been here long enough. But I don't think he has to be a big-time shooter. But, yes, he needs to improve his jumper. He gets that solid mid-range and spreads the floor out even a little bit. And he don't have that.
Yeah, that's what I've said. How about just do the mid-range like Kawhi Durant do? You know,
they're trying to make everybody Steph Curry.
Yeah, exactly. How about just pull
up? No, I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, if they have the pieces on that team, but, you know, it's because in this stage for basketball in NBA, you need that point guard to shoot 3-pointers. You know, if he's going to be the distributor, if he's going to be the ball handler, the creator, he's got to be able to knock down the three. Because as a defender, you know, your defensive game plan you can adjust because you don't respect the 3-point shot off the top of the key. So now you can defend a lot different than if this could knock down a 3-point shot.
I agree, but I don't think it's going to happen with him. I mean, how many years he can get a better shooter, but he's never going to be a knockdown 3 shooter.
No.
I wish he was, but he's never going to be. If he is, he proved me wrong. I'd love it. But I doubt it. You see, I mean, after how many years, you don't think he's having the best help possible? You don't think all these new shooters are coming? You don't think he's trying every year to get better? But, I mean, he's not. So who knows? I hope he does, but I don't see it happening. I wish.
And I think he grew up.
Myerson made a good point about breaking it up, man, because if they get bounced in the playoffs this year, you might have to really consider, you know, separating these two dudes. Because I think Embiid needs shooters to take that elite step for Philly. If they had those, you know, 3-4 shooters out there on the court with them, man, Philly, they could do damage, dude. Because you have to double team Embiid underneath the bucket.
Yeah.
Right.
You're right. It's counterproductive.
So yeah, dude, talking about just different notes in basketball right now.
But your point guard can't shoot threes. It's counterproductive. You're right, Larry. You got a big guy that's locking down the inside, but your point guard can't spread it out and shoot from the top of the key. It's issues. You're right. You're dead on. I mean, that's their issue right now. If they can come across that, the Sixers can make a run for the title. And yes, let's please talk about Zion.
Yeah. Bro, talking just little notes in the NBA right now. This dude, what do you guys thoughts on Zion Williamson right now?
Yeah, he's getting better. I thought he was going to be, and that's another guy that he's not as bad as Simmons, but he also got to work on a jump shot. He's a lot of inside stuff. So, and I mean, he's got a big body. He's a big guy, you know, like Charles Barkley. So, but yeah, he might also have to work on a jump shot. But he's getting better, man. He's staying healthy. The conditioning is good. But he's still got to lose weight. But yeah, looking good. 36, I believe.
I think the fact when they got Steven Adams, it helped out this dude immensely. Because you're right, see, he's eventually going to have to take jump shots. But right now, he doesn't really have to because they give the paint all day to Zion because of Adams. They respect Adams a little bit. But I don't know if Van Gundy's taking the right approach to this dude, making him just a paint dude because the team's not winning basketball games, right? They're getting a lot of stats, nice, you know, a lot of points and shit. But the wins for the Pelicans are not really coming through.
Feed the bear. He's going to break records.
Outside of JJ Redick and Steven Adams, they're still like a young team. So they're going to have to be patient for probably at least the next 2 to 3 years with Stan Van Gundy and see what he can do with that team. But
I say,
yeah, they got to start winning. There's too much talent. Brandon Ingram too. I mean, he was an All-Star last year. So, and then you got Alonzo. He's gotten better too with the jump shot. He's a fantastic passer. So there's talent on that team. They got to figure it out.
Zion's going to break. He's going to break field goal percentage records. He's already on line to do it. He's not missing any shots because he's getting to the rim. No one can stop it. I mean, until people start stopping him doing that, like I said, feed the bear. And hopefully he gets his jump shot. He showed it. Duke, he kind of has one. He can take it, and maybe they're not letting him do it as much. But hey, for someone who keeps driving to the rim and scoring every time, keep doing it, Zion.
And he's going to get stronger. It's going to get harder to stop him because he's going to get stronger probably.
Yep. And I think he's got, like you say, he's got the right mindset. His head is level. He's going to go the right way. He's taking the advice of the people around him. And he might not have the best team or the best coaching and they're losing and stuff, but I love his game. Love it.
Yeah.
Pelicans are a weird team, man, because they should be winning a lot more ball games based on their numbers. Based on the fact they have a lot of scoring. And the defense maybe could be an issue, but It's just weird how they just can't put like a run, like a little 3-game win streak, little 4-game win streak. It just hasn't happened for them yet, but they will. I think this team is eventually they will click. Like you're talking about CM players, maybe Van Gundy right now a little growing pains, but eventually they're gonna get it, dude. I think so.
Maybe imagine if you take Lonzo out and put Chris Paul. You don't think they would have win? I think they're missing that veteran. Yeah, it would be the same thing that's going on in Phoenix, but they don't have that right now. JJ Redick, now he's saying he won out. He's trying to get it. Can you believe it? He's trying to get it to the fucking Brooklyn. I heard JJ Redick. So yeah, they got to get a leader on that team, unless Brendan Ingram or Zion become a leader in the next few years if they get older.
And Karam says that it's Lonzo's contract year.
Yeah, he's gonna be a free agent.
Oof, man, what do you guys think? You guys think he'll get offers?
Yeah, not a max, but they'll give him like what Kyle Kuzma's got, like 3 years, $40 million, something like that at least, because he has some talent. I mean, he can pass, can play defense, he can even rebound. Shooting's getting better, but he's not gonna get crazy offers. But so he'll go somewhere.
You think the Pelicans will keep him?
They could try. I think it's restricted, right? Coram. So if it's restricted, if it's like 3 years, $30 million, maybe they'll match it. But if they overpay, they're not gonna try to match it. No way. So we'll see probably how much they offer. If they offer something like reasonable, like maybe something $30 million, maybe they'll match it. If it's too high, they'll probably let them go. But I'm assuming it is restricted. But I could be wrong.
Iverson makes a good point that they need more shooters. JJ Redick, his numbers have not been as good as they were last year.
Yeah.
Right.
I heard JJ Redick said he wants to go play with the Brooklyn Nets. So I don't know about that.
Man, I will let him go because he's not really producing for you. The shot is not there this year for JJ Redick. And he's a little bit older, right?
He's trying to win a championship. I think he's like mentally not into that team. I think he would really get motivated if he goes to a championship contender. Maybe the Philly, another damn 3-point shooter, they could use it. So yeah, I mean,
okay.
I think he's gonna end up going somewhere else. We'll see where he goes though.
Okay. And Carmelo, bro, monster week this guy's been having, including that Philly game. Over every single game, he's been putting up over 20 points. Obviously, because Portland's got some injuries, so he's taking a step up. And his shot, man, you think he's a Hall of Famer? This guy?
Yeah. I mean, he scored a lot. I don't know where he's in the list, but he's probably up there, close to, if not top 10, close to top 10 in scoring. The problem is that outside of 2009, he never did anything in the playoffs. So in 2009, he went to the Western Conference and then lost to Kobe and Lakers. But outside of that, he's kind of had like a Tracy McGrady career. But I think it's been a little bit better, though, because he hasn't gotten as hurt as Tracy McGrady. At least he stayed healthy. But yeah, it's kind of like a Tracy McGrady where he's very talented, but he just never won in the playoffs. But he's probably going to get
I think Carmelo now is going to prove doing the things like you're seeing now that he should be Hall of Fame. And another thing you got to remember, too, and I think they should take into consideration, he was unfucking stoppable in the Olympics.
Yeah.
He was the man in the Olympics over everyone else that was supposedly better and has all these rings. So I got a lot of respect for Carmelo. I also have a high school and a college jersey of his if anybody wants.
And he won a championship at Syracuse. I mean, I don't know. That doesn't matter. Yeah. But, hey, he did have a national championship at Syracuse.
And the longevity of his career to still be doing it now. He didn't quit a couple years ago when he could have. Still coming back and dropping 20.
You're 18, I believe. Same as LeBron.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing that he's still dropping 20 a game like that. So I think he should make it. He definitely should.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, you're looking at it almost. He might make it years the way he's playing. I think he doesn't have the wins and the championships, but he definitely has the stats to make the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, depending on when he retires, I don't know about first ballot because it'll depend on who's up against him, but definitely he's getting in there. Just because of how, the longevity of his career, and how he still can do it now. And the Olympics, I think the Olympics thing is, they can't let that by. That's just unreal to do that against.
3 gold medals, I think.
Yeah, with everybody else that's on those teams, for him to stand out almost every time and be one of the best, if not the best in those Olympics, that's impressive.
Yeah. And the adversity, bro, because people were talking a lot of crap about him, that he was done with, and he was like getting old and he was no more. To come back from that, bro. The comeback story, right?
It was weird because, like, he went to Oklahoma with Paul George and Westbrook. He couldn't fit in. Then he went to Houston with Chris Paul and Harden. He couldn't fit in. I was like, what the hell makes us think he's going to fit in Portland with McCollum and Lillard? And somehow he was able to fit in. I don't know why. But yeah, he's 25 a night almost. He's played unbelievable, man. He's right now doing a great job filling in for CJ McCollum.
True. That's true.
So another dude that's getting a lot of headlines in basketball in terms of getting maybe like an MVP kind of case is Steph Curry, right? These numbers don't include today's basketball game. We talked about Curry at the top of the show, but Mr. Blaze Radio, any thoughts on Mr. Curry this year, the Warriors? What do you think about that team?
By the end of the year, if he continues the pace he has, it could be, even without winning a championship, what he's doing without Clay and still leading that team, depending on how far they go, could be his best year ever. Not saying the best as a team, but to do it without Clay on the side, then people can't say, oh, well, he was one of the greatest, but he always had Clay.
Yeah, he had 27 tonight, and I lost.
I mean, last year they went 15-51 without Clay and Curry, right? But I think if they didn't have Curry this year, this would be like an 8-18 ball club, a 7.
He's lights out right now. Steph's scary right now, what he's doing. After the other night's game, did you see the underhanded shot from the 3-point line? The game ended. The game ended, and he took one dribble and just threw it underhand from 3-point line. Fucking swish.
Yeah,
that's when you know shit's going good for you. It didn't even matter. He just threw it up in the air, winning. And he does that every night too. That's the thing. I mean, I miss pregame shooting from.
You gotta get early to the pregame to watch him do all those fucking tricks he does before the games.
Yeah, and then the old arena where he shot way back from the hallway and made those shots.
Oh yeah,
like I said, the arena's not the same, but he used to shoot it from way back there and make them before he went in. It was crazy. He's a legend.
What are your guys' thoughts on Bob Myers this year, giving him the kind of basketball team they gave him? Because a lot of people praise him and stuff, right?
The Klay Thompson fucked them up, I think. Klay Thompson.
Yeah, injuries are going to be part anyway.
Maybe they should have gone with Lonzo instead of Weissman. We were arguing about that last night. I don't know what you think, Blaze. Who do you think they should have gotten, Lonzo or Weissman?
I mean,
LaMelo, I beg your pardon, LaMelo.
Yeah, Wiseman has shown that once again, we're talking about a young kid. We're talking about one of those big dudes that have to do a little bit of everything. And he's thrown right into a system where they expect him to be champions. He's shown signs of brilliance. He's shown that he could be great. Will he be great in the long run? I think the jury's still out, but I think he has that in him. To add, LaMelo's amazing. Like, I was never a fan of any of the balls for many reasons, but LaMelo stands out from all of them. The creator, the passing, the Showtime type things that he does. That's why they thought LA would work. Bringing back Showtime, Lonzo, but no, it didn't work out. But LaMelo has it. I think LaMelo has it. But I think Golden State made
I think he has it also, bro. I think he has it also. That's a good segue, man, to LaMelo. Because this guy's putting up Magic Johnson-esque numbers, bro. His first 5 starts, he's rivaling Magic Johnson, what he did, man.
Yeah, no, he just throws it up. He lobs it up there to the guys. You could tell those Hornets players love to play with him. I mean, he's unbelievable, man. I watched him for the first time this week versus Houston, and yeah, he pretty damn good, man. Even Magic Johnson after the game.
It's like he could do it with his eyes closed. You know what I mean? It's like so easy to him. Like he doesn't seem. I don't know if you guys could correct me if I'm wrong. He doesn't seem as cocky as Lonzo.
I mean, he's confident, but his head is on the right place. Like when you watch him play basketball, he looks like he's having a good time out there. Looks like he's doing what he wants to do. Yep. And I think with Lonzo Ball, I kind of think the stigma of his father and his family, he kind of wore that shit on his shoulders.
Softer and he's mentally stronger, LaMelo.
Yeah, this dude's kind of like, screw you, old man. I'm my old man. I mean, I respect you, old man, but I'm my old man. Like, I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna do my own thing.
Going back to the whole these Americans playing college with kids and these European guys play with adults. Remember, he played I don't know how many years in Australia with men, so he's also maybe got that. He's a little bit more used to like banging around with the bigger boys.
And at that age, people, you cannot take away what he learned leaving his family. Well, I know that leaving his country and having to grow up really fast over there and play some really good competition. So I agree, CE, his experience over there. And when he did it at first, I went, oh man, he's going to waste himself over there, and he'll come back.
He jumped out of high school to do that too.
But yeah, he made that happen. He made it work, and it worked for him big time. You're right on, CE.
Yeah, that could be part of it too.
Definitely, dude. It's going to be interesting how this Hornet team moves forward. Gordon Hayward's having almost like a career year, and it could be because he's playing with this type of player. And also, we gotta give props to him because he was on the bench, dude. He was a bench player, and
that's true.
It could have been like a mental challenge from the front office, from Jordan. Put him on the bench and see how he reacts. And bro, he always kept his cool. He kept playing the same kind of basketball. Man, this guy is going to be the best.
I see Lonzo being a prick about shit like that, but LaMelo, like you said, took it like a champ, and he knew it was a learning experience, and you put a chip on your shoulder with someone who thinks they're the star, and you got to sit for a little bit. Yeah, you come out, you're going to fight a little harder to show. What the fuck you put me on the bench for?
If you remember the rookie year, remember that I don't know if like Lonzo was telling the father, but the father, what's his name, Lonzo? I don't know what the father's name is.
I don't
Ball, Mr. Ball.
LeVar
Ball. Yeah.
Watch the ball.
Remember, he was going on First Take and Undisputed and Colin Cowherd that his kid was not getting enough minutes. He was starting, but he was not getting enough minutes, especially in the fourth quarter. And I don't know if that was Alonso telling the father to say that because he's so like scared to say it. But I remember that this guy was at least starting. He was still complaining about his minutes.
Yeah, for someone who wants to be win, Lamar, win. He named all his kids with a letter L.
And I saw the brother's also the uncle. He's also with an L too. I heard.
Yeah. That's an example of how not to raise your kid. I mean, not to promote your kid like that because he put so much pressure on Lonzo, like we talked about. Lonzo came into the league with heavy ass shoulders, and he was a freaking target. The first game that he played was it against the Clippers, and they worked his ass.
Yeah, Patrick Beverly ran up. He was smaller than him, kind of kicked his ass. He had to humble himself right away.
Right. Ah, man, it sucks what happened to Lonzo, and I blame it on the dad completely. At least the dad didn't screw over this kid's career. He came into the NBA, and now look at him, bro. He's a fucking star. He's on his way to be a star. I mean, right?
Yeah, this kid's just mentally stronger. I think that's part of it too.
So yeah, we're gonna wrap it up real quickly right here, Jim. Just getting a couple more topics. Jokic right now, unbelievable numbers. Also, what are you guys' thoughts on Mr. Jokic?
Yeah, like I said, he's top 3 with Joel Embiid and I guess LeBron as the MVP candidate. They're not winning as much, but it's not his fault. It's the teams, Jamal Murray and those other guys are not coming through. But yeah, man, he's been fantastic, man. He's almost every night he's like averaging 40 points. I don't know how much he's averaging exactly, but he's killing it this year, man. I'm loving what I'm seeing from Jokic, man.
I think the verbiage right on the screen says it all. Mr. Do It All.
Exactly.
The guy is amazing when he shoots. He's amazing at defense. He's amazing when he drives. He's not controversial. He's not stirring the pot. He's just a great basketball player in pretty much every aspect of the game. How can you not like him? You know.
And he
at one point in the season he was averaging a triple double.
Yeah, he can do it. He might be
as a center. The center.
I'll say this: he's probably the best white player in the NBA.
There's another. I mean, he keeps up like this and playing like this. He's bound for the Hall of Fame too, man. This dude's unbelievable. I mean, he doesn't get enough credit as he deserves. I think because he's in Denver, but he's not as world renowned. He should be. I think he shouldn't be. Should he be in the top 10 of all the NBA? You guys.
Yeah,
numbers wise, he's definitely there, bro. He's number 2 in terms of efficiency. All the numbers possible.
I'm afraid if you ask all those quote unquote experts, he won't be in the top 10 as much as he should be. But yeah, I agree. He should be top 10.
Yeah, maybe Carl makes a good point in terms of his defensive capability. Man, sometimes
that's why people think Joel Embiid is better because of defense. But other than that, he's really good.
Offensive game is on point.
You go shoot it up agained him. you drafted a hole against Jokic. See what happens. That shit. You'll have a Wilson imprint on your fucking forehead. The dude, he's a good defensive player. I didn't say he's the best fucking defensive player at all, but he holds his ground. He does everything.
All right. And wrapping it up right here with the New Jersey, old school also with the Brooklyn Nets. Harden have a pretty good quote this week, man. He talked about their confidence. Because a lot of people are questioning about their confidence because they've been losing a lot of basketball games. And he basically said it's going to take a lot for a team to beat them in a best-of-7 series. They're calling out already, the one thing about the Nets that I kind of don't like, obviously we picked the Nets, right, to be in the finals, is that they're really focused on that finals. Kyrie made a couple quotes about the finals. This dude's talking about the finals right now. I mean, I don't like that. I kind of want them to just focus on these basketball games and becoming a better basketball team, instead of focusing on the end goal, which is, months away.
Yeah, not until July. You have to. I mean, they don't even know what the hell the schedule is after March 5th. I mean, come on. They got to reset it because they got to replace all the damn games got postponed because of the coronavirus. But yeah, they it's funny because when they win, he tweets scary hours ahead, and then when they lose, like, dude, like just shut up and even when you win, just don't tweet anything. You're not that good. That today, he might tweet it tonight after what happened, but when they lose, you're gonna hear crickets.
I think if you ask those guys, probably all three of them, at any point in the year, that's what they're going to talk about. I mean, I think, like I said earlier, I don't think they're going to make it, but they could prove me wrong. They're the type of players that mentally can get so fucking strong in the playoffs, they could carry their way to the finals. They will tell you from day one till the end, we're going to win it all. We're going to the finals. That's just their type of people. You know, that's the way they are. Kyrie, it's a bad, I don't like the mix of Kyrie and Harden, but hey, if they click, they're going to be super dangerous. Everyone knows that.
Kyrie Irving
play some defense.
National TV too much.
Speaking of not playing defense, there's your team there. Arku, go play for the Nets. You want to play defense?
Iverson makes a good point. He says that it kind of reminds me of last year with the Clippers and that Paul George talking all that shit.
You can't always throw three all-stars together and you're going to the finals. If you throw three all-stars together, you have a better shot, but you can't go, finals because we got three all-stars. No, it doesn't work that way, and that's who proved it last year, the Clippers.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think they have a really, really good shot just because the East is a little bit down. If the East had maybe if the Nets were in the West
over there.
yeah, exactly. If the Nets were with Utah and if the Nets were with the Lakers out there, maybe it wouldn't be as easy. But it's kind of like we don't really respect any competition in Eastern Conference right now.
If not the
and
Nets,
I don't know if that's good for them, but that's what they're doing, bro. Like it's their thing, I guess. They gotta do this shit, I guess, to pump themselves up.
Yeah. And they got
maybe
Tom
because
Brady
these games for them are kind of boring. Like they kind of like go through the motions. And then we saw today, like you know, they really took it to that level with the Warriors. You know, like they finally showed us what they could do after, like we talked about when the show started. The Nets kind of were like, this is the first game for them in the whole season. Like this kind of like what we've all been waiting for them to play like.
Let me ask you a question, Larry. Take the Nets out of the East. Who wins the East?
Man, Philly.
Yeah, Philly, I agree. Right. Milwaukee looks
okay. One more time. Take the Nets and Philly out. Who would win the East? One more. That's it.
Fuck, dude. I don't know about that one. That's a tough one. Milwaukee, but they always choke in the playoffs.
You're going to the third.
Now you're going like the Pacers. Now you're talking about like
Kansas City and.
I'm gonna pick the next, bro.
Yeah,
that's the problem. After the two, it's like you said, the East isn't as strong. You could probably pick 3 or 4 or 5 really strong teams in the West. We're talking 2 in the East.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Nets were like at one point playing like 500 basketball, and they were the 5th seed in the East.
Yeah, Kemba Walker's really he looks terrible.
Yeah, that's another player that we talked about. How kind of extended.
Kemba's amazing. Is that a system problem with him? Why isn't he playing good?
It happened to Kyrie Irving. I don't know if it's Brad Stevenson that he gets these start point guards and he just same thing happened to Kyrie Irving with Brad Stevenson. I don't know if it's Brad Stevenson's system or what it is, but like Jaylen Brown and Tatum, they're becoming stars. They even got max contracts now. But then these guys come in with the max. Kyrie Irving came in from Cleveland with the max, and Kemba Walker came in, as a free agent from Charlotte, and they don't seem to fit in. I don't know why.
Yeah, Kyrie and Kemba, they're amazing, and they couldn't do it there. It's weird.
They can't do it. I don't know what Brad Stevenson's. I don't know why, but it seems that unless
Kemba's kind of a bad shooter. Also, his shooting is not very good. Kemba Walker, as a point guard, you want to shoot, like 38%, 39% from three. He probably shoots like 32, 31% from 3-pointers. So I mean, that's also pretty bad from going for him. He's not a good shooter, and it could be also like the injury on Kemba. He's a lot of injuries all his career. And they expect him to be the leader because of his contract, and it's just not there. It's not. I mean, it's not there for him.
I don't know what it is, but even last year he was disappointing too. Who knows how long he'll be patient with him, and also it has to probably have to do with the contract. Nobody's going to carry on the contract. It's like a super max, but I wouldn't be surprised if they end up trading him just like they did with Kyrie.
Oh, imagine, dude. Danny Ainge just gets a lot of credit for doing really good moves, but that could be a move that could backfire on him.
There was a rumor. Was it with the James Harden situation, or I don't know? But there was a rumor about trading Kemba Walker. There was one not too long ago.
That would not be a bad move to get out of that deal, bro. But who would take that contract?
Nobody. Yeah, you would have to
that's a thing.
Contract. And not even the Clippers, even though the Clippers need a point guard, I don't even think they're taking on that contract. They rather get Kyle Lowry.
He had to go to like a random team, like an Orlando Magic, like a really random team to build up that fan base or something like that. That's the only thing I can think of.
Even that box office, is even that? Does anybody like Westbrook in Washington? Okay, at least the guy's box office.
Exactly. You're gonna send off to Washington, bro, somewhere like that.
Take it with Kemba Walker on your team? I'm sorry, I don't think so. The Charlotte is in a much better situation now as far as box office goes with LaMelo over Kemba Walker. I'm sorry, but that's how it is.
That's true.
Yeah,
it's hard to believe. I'd have never guessed that, but it's true.
Michael Jordan's going to end up making more money these next 5 years with LaMelo than he would have ever had with Kemba Walker at the point guard.
Yeah, and I couldn't believe they got rid of him, and I thought he'd worked well with Boston.
Yeah, I saw him play in college. Remember he won on that super hot streak in the tournament, and then they won it in UConn.
I call that the Danny. I don't know if you guys remember Danny Manning when he was in college with Kansas, but he scored 30 plus the whole way through, carried them through the tournament. So yeah, Kemba did the same thing. That's March Madness is coming up, people.
Hell yeah, I'm fucking pumped, bro. Creighton got the upset today. Shout out to Stay Cool for that information.
Oh, they
beat Villanova today.
It's
a nice
it's heating up, bro. March Madness is heating up, man.
Can't wait for it, man. Can't wait.
I miss the old Big East. I mean, I'm glad there still is a Big East.
Yeah.
They came up today with the number 1 seeds. I think they're gonna give it to Gonzaga over Baylor. That number 1.
Isn't it? Is it Mondays or Saturdays?
The what? My bad.
What do they reset the rankings? Is it on Saturdays or Mondays?
Like the official? I don't know. But it's right. It's a Sunday, maybe a little bit later on.
Yeah, I think it's on Monday.
Official brackets.
Yeah. So
I mean, probably for me right now, gentlemen, I know it's kind of like a really public pick, but I think Gonzaga might be doing at least Final Four because they have that kid Jalen Suggs. Oh man, that guy's the terror out there.
Was that one kid that everybody talked about, Cade Cunningham or something like that? I'm not really.
He's a baller too, man.
Yeah, that's what everybody's saying. He might be the first overall pick.
Oh, yeah, because he's 6'7", 6'8", he's like a Kawhi Leonard type of frame.
I don't know if you guys heard or not, but I saw a report on ESPN the other day that some of the top picks are coming from the G League this year.
Yeah, because it's a minor league shit.
There's 2 or 3 players they say should go top 5 that are in that elite G League game the other day, and I watched some of that, and they're like, these dudes are for real. They're going to get picked over a lot of the college kids. I'm like, wow, that's something different. Well, I love that. I love getting an opportunity to those dudes.
This past year's draft, LaMelo was playing in Australia, and that other Wiseman didn't even do anything. He dropped out of Memphis, and he was doing his own thing. So you're starting to see kids not even go to college anymore. They're either going to the G League, going overseas, or they're just training by themselves with a personal trainer.
I don't like it, but I understand it. I still wish kids would go 3 to 4 years. But if you're making millions and millions, I understand how you're going to get your family and save a bunch of people. And you want to do it now, injuries. But I understand it. I don't like it, but I understand it.
That's why they're trying to figure out a way to pay these guys so they can motivate them to go back. Like if you're Jersey, think of all the money Duke made that 1 year with Zion.
Dude. Freaking Obama went to the basketball game. That shit was unheard of.
That's one of them, Garku. Jonathan Kuminga, that is one of them.
Yeah.
I still think college is a pretty cool thing because you get to experience, you get to experience college and all the girls and the parties and all that shit. Those are fun times. But in terms of a business, in terms of making money, I understand these athletes want to protect their investment, protect their asset because, you're already playing for a basketball team in the minor league kind of thing. And you're one step closer.
The girl who sits at the desk at the library gets paid working for the school. The guy the student who took student aid to go be a janitor in a building gets paid for mopping shit. These kids who work should get paid. These kids are working.
Yeah, at least get a percentage for your damn jersey getting sold.
Yeah. Well, fucking give them minimum wage and bonaces.
Yeah,
they're working.
I agree. Otherwise, they're not going to go anymore. They're going to have to. Otherwise, they're just going to go either, like I said, overseas or the G League or with James Wiseman that he's just going to work about himself.
Now, I'll give you a bad example. I was in Division II school. I didn't make the team, but I tried out. And to see what these athletes, even at a Division II level, do every day, besides go to school, they're working out 2 times a day. They're not doing as much as they want to because they gotta work to be good on the basketball team or the football team or whatever. They need paid, man, big time.
Yeah.
Or they steal the money.
That's a good point, man, because the NCAA is definitely a racket. It's definitely a racket. I mean, it's not even that hard to figure out because the coaches, they get paid, $10 million, $6 million to coach the team. And the players, they give them a little scholarship and stuff like that. I mean, it's the experience, right? You get to go to Kentucky. If you're a football player, you get to go to Clemson. You get to go to Alabama, and you build that network. You build those contacts. But we saw LaMelo Ball, take that shit to another level in terms of protecting the investment, protecting the asset.
Let me talk like an old man talk here. 30 to 40 years ago, giving a kid scholarship and paying for his tuition was a lot of shit, a ton of money, and it was the excuse for them not getting paid. We're giving you $40,000-$50,000 and we're paying for your entire school, blah, blah, blah. Nowadays, that's a drop in the bucket. It doesn't matter as much. They need paid. Times have changed, money's changed. Back then, that was their pay, your scholarship. Now they deserve a lot more because they're making, like you said, jerseys. They're making gazillions of money for the school.
Definitely, yeah. But if the Coach Cal is getting paid like $12 million to coach the team, then it's a little bit unfair when you only give a scholarship. Right?
You got to be careful because you don't want college basketball to turn into college baseball where nobody gives a shit about it. So
exactly, yeah.
You better figure out a way to fix this.
At least basketball is taking steps in the right direction. Like in terms of these players are taking the game into their hands. But you're talking right, make a good point. See, college football, man. They have the NFL has almost like a monopoly, like a free minor leagues, right? That's a sport that they got to pay the kids college football because, bro, they pack that stadium 60, 70,000 people watch a football game every single week. All the merch, all that shit they sell.
I think they got to give up like 50% of the merch from like their jerseys or a T-shirt or something.
And football is a much crazier sport, right, gentlemen? That's a sport that you might not even make it to the NFL because you get an injury.
You get hurt like a motherfucker in football. There's a lot more risk of career-ending injuries.
Look at
everywhere, but more so in football.
Tuilaiola,
he was into a fight every game.
Player, but then he broke his hip, and his career was over before he ever entered the NFL.
Yeah, that's a sport, man, that I agree with you 100%, man. They got to pay those kids in football.
Especially like linemen and stuff. Those guys that don't get the spotlight, your quarterbacks, your wide receivers. Those linemen busting their ass. Because
you have Major League Baseball who has that minor league system, really sophisticated with all those leagues built into it. And football's minor leagues is college, right? NFL is basically college all-stars. And they don't pay these dudes nothing in the minor leagues. They just give them a scholarship, and that's about it. But it is what it is, gentlemen.
Yeah, hopefully they fix it because if not, it's going to become like college baseball where nobody gives a shit. Now, I think people will still watch March Madness. It's exciting, but you're going to start seeing a lot of future dentists, a lot of future mechanics, a lot of future chefs instead of future NBA stars at those March Madness tournaments in the future.
I think it'll always be around because Blaze Radio, as you know this, bro. Basketball started in college, right? There's college basketball teams that have been playing basketball for 100 years.
Oh, yeah.
And the league's been around for 50, 60 years. And
but the talent
you have way more fans in college, right? Yeah. Because in college basketball, any alumni is going to be a fan of the brand. And in basketball, it's just like the market's way more reduced. So, I mean, I think the market will always be there. The level of caliber of player, right, it might fall. You might not have a Cade Cunningham, a Jalen Suggs, a Wiseman in college. You might have a lower tier talent. But it's always going to be there, bro, the market.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. So pretty much hit on all the topics, man. We hit a little bit of college, a little bit of March Madness. Went over through pretty much
NBA.
Yeah, went over through pretty much all the NBA. Anything you guys want to hit on before we get out of here that we didn't talk about?
No, I mean, I think next we could do also is maybe pick like some games and like do like a pick 'em for like a few games, and that's something we can do. I don't know. Just trying to figure out what else we can do, but I mean, we got more than an hour in, so all right, that's good.
Well, I can think of some fun stuff to do when March Madness comes around. We get them 60-some teams. We could draw names for who gets what teams and crazy shit like that. I think it's a lot of fun stuff, and you guys are always fun. Everybody in the chat's awesome. You guys are fun. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah,
shout out to Blaze Radio. I'm gonna put his channel in the description. You guys could sub to Mr. Blaze. Sub to Mr. CE Sports Show. subscribe to my channel if you guys want to. And yeah, it's always cool to go back and forth with you guys. A lot of expertise on here, right? With Blaze Radio, CE Sports Show, myself. Be watching sports for a little bit of time.
We're professional, CE, right? Tell them.
Yeah. And want to thank everyone in the chat also for joining us, man, and hanging out with us and giving you guys his thoughts and opinions on the sport world.
And remember, next week we'll put like 3 or 5 pendejo candidates of the week. Anytime, and you guys can vote on it, whether it's Friday night or Saturday night, whatever how we do the show. So you guys can also get a little bit more input on who wins the pendejo of the week.
Hell yeah.
This week, Blaze, for shooting that half-court shot versus San Antonio.
Thanks, Kobe. I appreciate that, man. All right, everyone. So hope everyone has a good week, and we'll catch you guys later.
Peace.